calculate gross, it could be up to 30% a year.
Conservatively, like a 15% year-on-year return.
Stock market goes down, crypto market goes down. Liquidity leads the markets leads the economy. The stock market went up, boom, wealth effect, everybody felt rich.
This theory called the chicken rice theory. The only way is one way, which is the price will only go up.
People are just selling properties like that. It just goes. It's nuts. It is crazy.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Café Money, and this is a international edition as requested by the public, saying that, hey, if you guys are not together, right, you guys can do it, right? So over here, you can see Qiuyu and Ken over there, right? Everybody say hi. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Where are you guys? Tell everybody, where are you guys?
We are in Bali.
Is that a backdrop or like a real background?
This is a real background. Wow, look at that. Nice pool. We have a nice living. This is a huge house.
Yeah.
Huge house.
Wow.
Right.
Well, there's a little obscene clothes in between our two of you right now at the background over the tower, right? I guess Qiuyu must be having fun swimming in the swimming pool and enjoying yourself, suntanning in Bali, right? How is it for you guys?
No, it's I didn't even jump into the pool. It's so gross, the water. Because this stupid cat, he took off his pants and then he jumped inside the pool. And very gross, right, the water.
Like pants as in?
Yeah, I jumped in butt naked into the pool. Don't you so disgusted by that?
Yeah, it's like so gross that the water will have all your dirty things.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
In my
this episode
defense,
went there too fast.
In my defense, you see, I usually wake up like hours way earlier than the three girls here. So I was just thinking, something I've never done in my life. I'll jump in butt naked. So none of them saw anything. I did it before they woke up. I did my morning routine, my finance, my exercise, and I jump in butt naked.
But it's very gross knowing that you jump in butt naked.
Getting wealthy is to be butt naked jumping into the pool every morning.
No, I don't think so. It's very gross knowing that you jump in butt naked, the pool is like polluted.
With what?
With
my essence, you know, the essence, you should experience
dirty water now.
Enough of the essence. Let's go straight to the topic of finance. It's the
what are we talking about today?
Alright, let's go, man. Today is interesting again. As we know, in Singapore side, a huge announcement once again happened when it comes to real estate cooling measures, right? Globally as well, we know interest rate is pretty much at one of its all-time high right now, right? And then the market is really thinking about, hey, how do we invest and what do we invest right now? And of course, we see recent stock spikes also, right, that's happening. So I want to hear from Ken also, right? Well, how do you see this whole market going on? What is happening to the current stock market or the whole financial industry right now? Economy,
that is what you get on mainstream media. Things are looking pretty different in Bali, but this is a liquidity injection. So in this video, we will talk about liquidity and how it affects the asset prices, and we'll talk about basically property and crypto. Right. So here we are in Bali. We're
actually here doing some ground research to find out more about the property market over here, because we have heard of a lot of people all over the world coming over to Bali, not just for holiday, but also for investing in the villa over here. So we are here to just check it out and to find out if it's real that people are actually shifting their minds over here. So what did we find out? We found out so many things, right?
Found out so many things about the property here, but I think in summary, you could view Bali as Singapore 50 years ago. I would say something like that. Regulations are a little bit loose. You can do whatever you want. The ROI is extremely high. I think if you calculate gross, it could be up to 30% a year. But then if you net it out, and we are being pretty conservative, what's the numbers?
Minusing all the expenses, right? I think the net could be conservatively like a 15% year-on-year return, which is damn awesome, right? In today's market.
Yeah.
It's really high though, honestly, on a market like this. I think when I first come to like to hear about Bali is when I was doing my research about what I can't do, where a lot of folks in the States are able to do as well. You know, the whole idea of buying real estate that is meant for Airbnb is largely illegal in Singapore, right? And plus, the unique advantage that I see in Bali is because it's an all-weather, all-season rental as well. We have Russians at a certain period of time. We have people from the Singapore coming at different time, Filipinos coming at different stage of time, right? So it is pretty interesting, right? And of course, without giving much more detail, because we are not endorsing here, we are just about to waste all our money into Bali real estate. That's about it, right, guys? Just say it's not financial advice. It's just wasting money to see whether you're pen out, right? But how is it, guys? It's been amazing. The research. Have you seen some awesome villa over there?
Yeah, we definitely have seen a lot of awesome villa, right? And we also have spoken to a lot of the local people who are in this trade as well. So what we found out recently is like in the past few months, right, there is actually like a rush. There's like a Russian town being built here. So basically, there's like a influx of Russian coming over to Bali to stay here, to invest here, to buy properties over here. So much so that, right, there's an area where they kind of build out a Russian town. They call it Russian town.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the Russians, but the Chinese are here too.
Yep.
It's a huge influx. It is huge. You can think about how crazy this market is. We visited on site a few times and we went to the developers. They were just like snapped up. Goes on market, snaps out in a few days' time.
Yep.
It is nuts. It's crazy.
Of course, on a private conversation towards the chat that we had in the nights and all that, I also want to be cautioned to the viewer over here, right? This is purely our investment criteria. And more importantly, we also uncover layers of very crucial criteria that we want to be observing as well. It's not like if there's a villa in the market, you go and buy, it's going to make sense. Everybody's going to still be as salesy as possible to sell you that this whole high ROI thing, like everything is going to go well, right? But of course, I'm so happy from all our late night meetings. Sadly, I can't be there, but from knowing that there's very strict criteria that we are about to follow, right, before we enter into it as well. So a very simple question will be, when would be a good time for us to hold the key and jump into our own pool butt naked?
Soon. I think we might be putting in an offer soon. But I need to emphasize Benny's point that you guys do not do it until, because we are putting our money here, we are risking our own money first. There's a lot of scams ongoing. Like there was one time the lawyer was talking about, they were just selling you pictures of 3D pictures.
Is very important.
Correct. So I think that's the reason why we are here personally, because we have also heard of a lot of horrid story that happens over here. Scams are all around because of the e-regulations in the policies, right? And precisely also because of the e-regulation, we also found out good ways that we could own the property in a better manner that will work well for us. And yeah, I think very important to know your game and not just do hearsay. That's the reason why we are here personally, to meet up with people who are in the trade to avoid the pitfalls. And when I talk about people who are in the trade, it's not just about meeting the salesperson or the property agencies or people who are selling you the villa. It's quite important to also meet up with, say, people who are just doing the property management. Also meet up with lawyers, solicitors, and also
the locals that are doing this for like 100 villas already.
Yeah.
And their net worth is like puny. I mean, it's so big that we are puny to them. You know, the kind of people that we are meeting with are using our network.
The real practitioner, the hardest to
they
find.
are really doing it.
Yeah, we also met up with foreign investors who are also doing it right now. We have been speaking to quite a number of people actually doing our trade.
Awesome. And I guess last but not least, really this belongs to a category of entrepreneurship, I would say. But this is a very interesting entrepreneurship category called real estate entrepreneurship, because there's a layer of certainty comes to this asset that is more recognizable, right? But building an Airbnb business is purely a business segment, right? And of course, we talk about exit strategy, whereby we can look at it and sell it as a business function, you know, with a business and track record over time as well. So one of the more interesting way of building a business that I'm exploring in 2023 and moving forward as well, because there's this balance of both elements. As you all know, that I'm very obsessed with real estate, and there's this obsession in entrepreneurship of who I am as well. So I'm so glad that you guys make this trip and make me get jealous, and I'm just very distracted by having a weird lingerie in the middle of two of you all throughout this whole podcast. But
yeah,
you know what, let's just go ahead and share more, right? Speaking of which, right, I think maybe we can talk a little bit about the current market as well, because I guess this is a very entrepreneurial move, which is quite common, where the market is not doing the best, right? sometimes the best way is to look at income making opportunity, like starting a business, right? Which is not wrong. When the market is a bit fearful, there are a lot of opportunity open up for entrepreneur, right? But let's just jump back into the podcast existence, which is really on the economy and the financial market, right? Ken, you were talking about liquidity, right? Maybe we want to talk a little bit deeper about liquidity over there, and then we see how we can kind of spin off to talk about whether it's a stocks or real estate market, to give people a quick update of what's happening right now and what are our perspective for what we will be doing next.
And maybe not just about like the Bali market over here, maybe just in general the economies around the world, and where is the money flowing to right now at this moment in time.
All right. So I just want to give a brief summary of liquidity. So you can have this saying, liquidity leads the market and the market leads the economy. So if you are talking about a leading indicator, is you need to go like liquidity, you go to the stock market, then you go to the real economy. That was how we create the wealth. In fact, remember when, example, during COVID, the 2020, a liquidity injection was done by the central banks. Boom. So what happened after that? The stock market went up. Boom. Second step. Third step, the wealth effect, everybody felt rich. And obviously after that, inflation came along the way. So it's a 3-step process all the time. So if you are looking for the most leading indicator of all time, will be liquidity.
To see where people are, or the government or the people and the rich people are flowing their money into?
It's more like where if the central banks are printing money.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's called a liquidity injection. So we have a few main central banks we can monitor, the European central banks, America central banks. We have the BOJ is Bank of Japan. That one is a big one. And obviously we have Bank of China. So these are the 4 major liquidity injectors around the world.
So you would say that liquidity is one of the leading indicator when it comes to knowing financial movement?
I would say it's the leading indicator, the number one. But it takes time to flow into the market. So whether it flows into the bonds, stocks, crypto, property, whatever it is, or even gold, these are all a reaction function of liquidity injection. So right now the overall view is obviously the US are tightening, so liquidity is down, European central banks are down. But the funny thing is Bank of Japan with their yield curve control are printing unlimited money, and the Bank of China is printing like mad. So that's where this graph comes in. It was from Bloomberg, and we understand that there's a lot of money flowing in right now. So what we are looking for is where is this money flowing to? So I mean, just off my rough research, is that if you look at Chinese, Asian people, we ain't really stock market people for the last 10, 20, 30 years. We are more property.
We are the hoarder actually. You know why hoarder?
Why hoarder?
I think the Chinese likes to buy property and hoard to the property and have this good sense of feeling over home ownership.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a traditional thing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
By Chinese, you broadly mean people in Southeast Asia and all across
Like
China,
even
right?
like Chinese.
In Asia,
because
Asia.
I mean, in America context, when you use Chinese, I mean, you mean people from China. I mean, just want to be clear about that sentence that you just made. So I think so. Let's just summarize your point again. So in Asia, there are more people who are like property obsessed or property hoarder. Just like REITs are doing way better in Southeast Asia. There are more sought after stocks compared to the States as well, because people are just obsessed with real estate over here, right? I'm guilty of that as well.
Yes.
So on Ken note as well, so liquidity is leading, and what you're seeing right now is currently, are you seeing a influx of money printed and flowing to the economy right now?
Into the property market?
You get a set of data. What do you make out of it? Like, oh, I know about this, but it's more like an actionable thing, like where can you predict the money is going to? So if the Asian side is injecting liquidity, where would the money flow? Definitely not stocks. At least in my own opinion, some of them may flow to the US stock market, which will cause the pump in the US stock market. But I do not think it's the factor, because in Asia, again, we will find property, and lately there'll be crypto, but I will talk about that later. But like, let's put ourselves in Bali. The market now is crazy, you know, it's snapping up like nobody's business. So like, for example, it's so like, you know that people here, the Russians are buying property in crypto.
Oh yeah, that's what we heard.
Wow.
It's very interesting, something that we have heard of but never really come close in encounter before. So what we have realized is that over here, even in Bali, people are already accepting crypto as a form of payment for property.
Yeah, the Chinese and the Russians are paying property in crypto.
Oh, yeah.
It's nuts. So you must understand, mainly the money will flow into crypto and the crypto purchases of property. Well, if you are a Russian or how do you get money out of the country? There's only one answer. You're not going to go through the fiat system. Russia is banned from the SWIFT system anyway. So crypto comes in. Like, so there's Russia, then there's China, and obviously they're both good friends. They were natural born enemies until enemy of the enemy is a friend. So, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, thanks for sharing all these cool stuff in a podcast as well. My take about liquidity for real estate is also pretty important as well, because really the whole idea is about whether is it through leverage or through cash, right? It's about how much loan you can take, right? I mean, like, if people can take cheap loans, real estate definitely boom, right? And when people can't take cheap loans, real estate definitely tank, because it's always about this core word called holding power. I mean, real estate, right? I mean, if someone can collect a rental and is paying 90% or 120% of the mortgage, which means it's positive cash flow or just a tiny bit of burn, right? Actually, they have no reason to sell off the real estate as quick as possible, right? I mean, it is fully tenanted as well. So I just want to really share a bit deeper into the fundamentals when it comes to real estate during this period. I think it's very important for people to understand as well, right? Because a lot of people has been asking me ever since the last podcast ago, Benny, you were very bullish in real estate over the last 3-4 years, right? When people were not bullish, people were laughing at me saying that, oh, you know, it's this pandemic and then we will be affected, right? And why are you still bullish right now? Maybe I can if it's okay, I elaborate a little bit for everyone over here, and if you guys can chip in if there's points as well. I think the whole idea is to understand your investment strategy, right? So Ken, if I'm not wrong, you are a very big picture thinker, right? So there's many kind of investment players as well. If you can time the market for some folks over there, or if you do day trading, right, you know, by all means, that's your way of making money, right? You know, go ahead when there's a little bit of spike, you know, that's your game, right? Ken, I see you as a very macro player in terms of moving your cash, and it results to very good yield, long run, right? Rather than like stacking, and then one wrong move and then everything got burned away, right? I mean, we see investment longer. For me, right, in real estate, a very important concept to introduce, right, is the power of not just holding power, but the power of liquidity. So I share this. So liquidity. So real estate, is there liquidity, right? Actually, when we talk about liquidity in real estate, people don't understand it's not in a matter of 6 months or 2 months or 3 months, right? But we call this approach the next buyer in my approach, which means when you buy something, right, you really want to think about how do you exit. And I think that is a big midnight conversation that Ken, Qiuyu, and I had about Bali investment real estate as well, which is why we are not endorsing for people to go in, because buying into real estate, right, the key thing is about exit, right? And if you want to be ultimately safe like me, right, my entire portfolio of real estates, more than 10 real estates, right, surrounds around this theory called the chicken rice theory. So I share a bit more, right? So the chicken rice theory, basically, for my folks in all around the world, right, we have this category of class of food called hawker food, right? It's not exactly street food. It's not exactly a full restaurant, right? But it's in what we call coffee shops, which is not cafe, but we call them coffee shops in Singapore. But they are very affordable food that tourists won't go, local go to, right? And this is like maybe $4 USD or $5 USD, right? So to me, right, when the pandemic happened, right, the thing about a luxury restaurant, right, they could give a 1-for-1 or 50% discount. But when it comes to the chicken rice, right, the only way is one way, which is the price will only go up. Because when raw materials is scarce, when things are already so affordable, right, there's only one way up. You will never see the cheapest food out there having big discount, right, because they are already the most affordable option. So the one concept I want to introduce to people that if they are really buying real estate during this period, right, is following very tightly to the affordability concept. Whether is it local affordability if you're investing in overseas, that means someone local can take over what you purchase, which is very important. Unlike Bali Villa, which is purely an investment and an entrepreneurial move, right? Local affordability. We talk about affordability as in, the property you're buying, is it belong to a price point where a mass majority of people can upgrade or take over your asset rather than luxury asset class as well. So to me, these are some of the key anti-fragile criteria that I want to introduce to people when it comes to buying during this period. So just a food for note. Qiuyu, can any point to add about real estate market, how you view it in this period?
No.
Okay, maybe I have a little bit to add, although I'm not a real estate pro, and she is being humble about it.
No, she's just being a morning corgi Qiuyu, just like no and stoning, yeah.
Yeah.
She woke up early, and usually like I wake up at 7 or 6 a.m. and she's like the 10 a.m.
I wake up like early but later than you lah.
Yeah. So
Then it's not early, like yeah.
okay, so I understand that the US right now, the real estate sales are low and it's understandable. And I do not think the US is a good place to invest in real estate. So the Western side and the Asian side real estate, I don't include China because China, they so much property, the whole shit. But no. I'm talking about Southeast Asia. I mean, I'm here on the ground. It is crazy. It's like we were at Simiap like less than
7 months ago.
7 months ago. Bro, remember Simiap Beach? We were walking there and there's this suddenly out of nowhere, there's this super huge large structure in front. In less than a few months, they built a 4-5 story.
And yesterday we were just at Changbu, right, at the beach there.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I was just here like 7 months ago. The number of people here is probably like 300 times more, like 3 times more.
Oh, three times more. This is a booming place. This is the booming place, the boom. So and I
actually also want to ask, like, so what do y'all think? That means, right, let's say if the liquidity is flowing into, say, Southeast Asia, especially in, say, the property in Southeast Asia, are we like seeing that this could be an indicator that properties in Southeast Asia might be standing a chance to experience a boom in the next few years to come?
I personally think that I can't say for Singapore because you guys are much better, but having my eyes here at the real estate place is crazy. Okay, so we were discussing about last night in the taxi, we were talking about UK HMOs, house of multiple occupancy, and how you buy a house, a 4-room, and you make it a 5-bedder, and how you extract maximum value out of the property. And there are a lot of rules around it. In Bali, there's no freaking rules. So I think they are intending to transact on a 3-bedder, but because a 3-bedder is like a flat place, we can just build 2 rooms on top of the 3-bedder and become 5-bedder estate. It's nuts. It is crazy. And people are just selling properties like that. It just goes. There is no property available. Like it is fully built up, brand new, out for Airbnb or luxury rental or whatever. They're mostly gone.
Yeah, most of the time, if you're buying over here, you are buying likely this thing called an off-site plan. Yeah. Right, that means they are still in the midst of building, or you are buying it through at the stage of land acquisition. That means you acquire the land and then they are building it. So it will take some time for the building to be built up. Otherwise, it will be off-site. That means they are brand new. You seldom see them transacting
in second hand. Yeah, I just want to put a word of caution again. I think it is more of an entrepreneurial move than a real estate move because it pretty much breached majority of the fundamentals when it comes to investing during a crisis period opportunity. That's why that business layer is really the kick-ass thing that 3 of us are doing, and me experiencing in marketing and the business world are going to inject my skill set as well. So just 2 perspectives to add on to this. Number 1, I do not think Singapore will see the biggest boom in real estate over the next few years. However, if you master fundamental in real estate, you will know having leverage, buying negotiated deals, you usually make about 15% year on year when you sell it in the next 5 years, right? So that's my game over here. I don't buy into some new builds that's overly hyped out by developers and stuff like that, right? So I know a very tight game that makes 15% a year. That's why that's my staple every year, right? In Bali, right, just want to say the efficacy of buying the real estate is very, very important. So for us, we direct source, we buy from Balinese, we buy an area whereby we really support real tourism, then beef up tourism price whereby it's hurting the local market as well. So I think this is just one full note to let people know as well. The way of enter is also very important because what I really like is, as someone who travels to Bali for 12 times, like, and then furthermore in the future, if I'm owning businesses there, right, I really want Bali to preserve its beauty and its, and its amazing space of its natural growth as well. So that ethical way of growing is still very important to me and Ken and Qiuyu. I think I'm also seeing how Balinese is also building it in a way whereby it's not just killing the market, it's smart as well. They're going slow. They are scaling up the investment area zone, right, slowly upwards to north as well. I think in a very palatable way according to how tourists is traveling. So I just want to put that footnote as well. It's very important that when we do foreign investment, say for me in the UK, which is doing exceptionally well right now, in Singapore or even in Malaysia or even in Bali, right, you want to do it in a way whereby you really give that big economy spin to the local as well, rather than buying. I mean, that's just how I do it. Rather than buying off from another foreigners who make elsewhere the money and transfer out, then that does no good for the economy.
Yeah. So besides like property in the Southeast Asia, where else do you think like money is flowing to at this moment in time? Just now you mentioned about crypto. Is the crypto market right now doing okay? Because I haven't been like looking into crypto at all for the past 1 year actually. How has it been doing?
VFriends.
Gary V.
Yeah, VFriends, right? And his second launch, which is last year. What do you think generally about crypto market? Qiuyu is right. Like, how do you feel about it? Because looking at it, it's a little bit quiet. It sounds like there's opportunity with utility coins, or like there are certain strong NFTs, right? What do you think about the whole crypto and the whole NFT market right now?
Okay, the first thing about you talk about VFriends, I personally do not recommend it, although it's under Gary V. Gary V is like the Elon Musk is, he tweets about crypto, that token, it will go up. So Gary V, when he tweets about that particular NFT project, it goes up. So he's like the Elon Musk in NFTs. I would not recommend that. I would just go for the blue chip of NFTs, which are, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Having said that, moving on, I believe there's a lot of money going in crypto, but there's a big caveat to it. If you realize the correlation of the crypto markets to the stock market, it is quite correlated. Stock market goes up, crypto market goes up. The stock market has a very big overhang right now. This is a market bear market rally. So I think I just put a simple chart for a lot of people understand. Obviously, this is just technical analysis and it's just a very simple concept. But if you notice, the markets are topping up and it's gone on the way down. If you want to go more in depth, liquidity is down for the US and the European markets. So there is going to be a big pullback. And this pullback of the stock market will bring crypto down together with it. And obviously, I am very, very bullish. I love to buy stocks. I love to buy crypto, but I know there's this stock market overhang and I do not want to put my money there yet. I still don't feel safe. As usual, there's still quantitative tightening, interest rates are high, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing altogether, you end up to a simple thought process is stock market goes down, crypto market goes down. If the S&P corrects by another 30%, hell, the Bitcoin crypto is dropping. So for me, I'm still watching that space there. I think it's not wrong to sit on cash I know I've been sitting on cash for like a few months, almost to a year, I guess. Almost to a year. It's still a few months. In the grand scheme of things, a few months is not long. If you look at the whole market by itself. So this is just my overall take. Look out for opportunities. I think within the next year or so, a lot of millionaires and millionaires will be made if you are able to, sort your shit out.
I think so. Actually, the thing about this period is that I love it, right? In real estate, we call it the era of buyer market is about to happen because it's not so bullish anymore, right? And it's in a buyer's market where people are fearful, right? That's where they are very short-term thinkers, right? They will let go real estate in very irrational and illogical position, right? And that's where you make the most money out. Actually, it's actually on the buyer's market, because in the seller's market, everybody is snobbish, money is going up, they don't care about doing a nego deal and all that. They're just like, nah, this is just how is it, right? So I'm actually extremely excited about buyer's market for new investors, for especially new young investors as well, because in the buyer's market is where you can use your skill set to do a lot more things. In the seller's market, it's like you had to be on the, you had to pray to the market, right? It's like, okay, please allocate, please don't be so expensive so I can buy. But now I think it's a very interesting opportunity that even dive deeper into knowledge as well, rather than in the next bull run and then when just follow everybody's next direction, right? So super excited. Last words for everybody, from Bali to everybody that is watching this podcast right now, two of you.
Okay, last word, but not last thing. I noticed something. Bali.
Okay, come.
The reason why I think we are going to invest here is I think this place is recession proof. So it's like a McDonald's business. Short of a pandemic, no matter what happens around the world, let's say the world goes into a depression, there will still be people here, and there'll be a lot of people here.
How we know it? Because in the pandemic period, 3 of us were there.
No, I think I must say that for people who are trying to enter the market, although like we see that there will be, because people will always have some money, the money must always go somewhere. And we are talking about really observing that the trend is money is flowing into the property scene, probably in Southeast Asia. And we have a hunch that it is likely Bali is one of the places, not the only place, but maybe one of the places. That's why we are here to do our research and findings. And like what Benny has mentioned, right, no matter what, when we are choosing to invest in a property, the criteria has to make a lot of sense. Like criteria like how easily it is going to be exitable. How can you exit from the property, the affordability of the property. There's a lot of criteria to look into when you invest in property, right? So, I mean, we were just having a conversation talking about, Bali, the charm of Bali. There's this natural charm about Bali that, no matter how bad it is, like whether there's a terrorist bombing or what, after that, people will still keep coming over here. And
Yeah.
Kansai is the best, right? I mean, you look at lukewarm sea that have very good waves that you can walk down, and practice, right? You can never find anything like that, right?
Yeah, and Bali is the place where people can really do a lot of activities here. Like if you want to go diving, there's a very nice diving spot. We want to go to the mountainous area for like, yoga, retreat kind of thing. It has those very nice spots. And if you want to do surfing in like a warm water, not cold water in Australia, then this is where it's a very good spot to come over. So I think like in terms of the natural charm of Bali, I've never really seen Bali fail as a tourist spot.
It's everything. Warm waters, the surfing wave. If you want a cool place, right, like places that's still Ubud or something like that, right, where it's like Genting Highlands, aircon. So it has everything
a bit higher,
yeah. So it has everything on this island, and it will always be a natural attraction over here.
I just want to once again really calm my 2 friends at Bali down, because environment influence how they speak, right?
Yeah,
because
we want to live here.
People is gonna go on a hunt of this journey, right? That is gonna be very dangerous. I will just say because this is not easy. Would that be okay, guys? Like I just want to say here first, like just be patient with for us a little bit. If you can share more information, share. We'll even hopefully do a vlog to do our tour if people want to see what we do, and just share with you as a journey perspective. But just be careful, because I literally took a good 4 months before we all end up, not all, 2 of you, sadly, in the trip, right? Because I've done so much background research before I push ahead this initiative. So it's not as simple as finding some supplier, buying some stuff, and voila. I'm just saying, like, hold your horses, be slightly careful. I know that after this podcast, there'll be a huge search in Bali real estate in Google right now, right? But just be slightly more careful.
Yeah, just be careful. Let us do the groundwork first. What we usually do, like I did in UK and stuff, we find a team there, and I tell you, you find the wrong person, I tell you, your nightmare starts from there. It is crazy. You do not want to go through that. So let's do the groundwork. Let us do our thing. And anything we find, anything we learn, we will share with everybody. Just give us some time, maybe half a year, and you have some numbers up after that. Yeah.
All right. And with that, right, just want to say, guys, have a good at least some breather and holiday. I know you all work very hard. Every hour is meeting someone to do everything. Have a good breather, had a good holiday. Hope you guys have a good time. I'll see you guys back in Singapore. Signing off, Café Money. See you guys in the next random episode again. Bye-bye.